Dobrý den, já vás vítám u dalšího podcastu, dalšího rozhovoru se zajímavými lidmi. Já dneska vlastně mám na kanále rozhovor s Elis Angelou, která je z Brazílie. A já jsem ji pozvala, aby nám povyprávěla o tom, proč vlastně je v Čechách, jak se sem dostala, jak se jí tady líbí a také, aby nám něco řekla o svojí zemi, takže doufám, že to pro vás bude zajímavé. Já se s ní budu povídat, budou i titulky pod videem a doufám, že se něco zajímavého naučíte. Určitě dejte i třeba nějaké dotazy pod video, abychom se mohli navzájem ještě dozvědět něco dalšího. So, hello, Alice Angela. I would like to welcome you to the Chinglish Channel podcast. It's very nice to have you here.
Hello, Marqueta. Thank you for having me. I appreciate this invitation and let's go.
Good. So, as I said, Alice Angela is from Brazil and she's been living in the Czech Republic for 2 years.
Yes, it's 2 years
Mm-hmm.
since 2021 after the pandemic situation.
Mm-hmm. And why did you come here? What is the reason for coming to the Czech Republic?
So I'm married with a Czech citizen, and we start to thinking about to be close to the family. So, and because it's I would have some international environments and find some companies to work and have a safe place to try to stay and stay together family. The final is all family. It's all about the family.
So what is your impression of the Czech Republic? How do you like it here? What do you like about it? What do you like the most? What don't you like?
Thing I like is about how the society is organizing. You have follow up the tradition so hard, and I think it's very good. You are raising the child above of this tradition. And I like the castles, about landscapes. You have nice view. Country is so beautiful. And for me, everything is good, but sometimes I don't like the weather. The weather bothers me a little bit because I think it's so extremely. Sometimes it's so hot and sometimes it's so cold. You don't have sometimes the middle weather. Bothers a little bit, but I'm used to about that. After 2 years, I need to used to about that. So the other thing that I like here, and I used to in the beginning I didn't like so much, but now I'm falling in love is the food. Czech food.
That's very interesting. So what's your favorite Czech food?
Svíčková. And I like the polevka.
Any polevka?
Any polevka, because in Brazil you don't have this be able to start with polevka and after have the meal dishes. So here all the time when I go to the restaurant, I am asking for the soup first. And it's incredible because even if you have a hot weather outside, you don't care.
Yeah.
You have soup in the restaurants. In Brazil, you can take it just in winter, when you have winter. During the summer, never ever we're going to find soup. And if you have it, people are going to say, oh, why are you taking soup during the summer weather? It's not sweet, it's not good for the health.
So when you cook at home, do you cook Brazilian food or do you cook Czech food or do you cook international food?
The most of time is Brazilian, because my husband, he was living in Brazil, so he used to about the Brazilian food. But from now, I noticed that the Czech food, it's easy because sometimes you must have just chicken and potatoes. So it's easier than Brazilian food because Brazilian food, they mix up everything. So you must have rice and potatoes and meat and salad together. And the Czech is easy food. So sometimes I mix it, Czech and Brazilian.
So like a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
So, and before coming to the Czech Republic, you know, what did you know about it? What was your idea of this tiny country in the Central Europe, coming from this huge country like Brazil, which is the fifth largest country in the world? You know, what was your idea of this, you know, Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic?
To be honest, I didn't know so much. I even don't know about this split. When I met my husband the first time, he told me, I'm from Czech Republic. Oh, what's it mean? So when I was studying the map, it's changed so fast, and I was not follow up it. So after I figured out that it's split, I understood. So I remember that people in Brazil comments about the beautiful women, like models.
Mm-hmm.
And that the Czech Republic or Slovakia, they don't have good football players.
They don't have good football players. No?
They don't have a good football players.
Well, compared to Brazil, you know, who does?
And I knew about the castles and about the writer, the known writer, Frank Kafka.
Kafka. So that was really just those.
But I didn't know about Sigmund Freud. That Sigmund Freud is from Czech Republic.
Sigmund Freud, yeah. Yeah, he was, I think he was like born here, but he was basically German, so it's very hard to say if it's Czech or German, you know, but good. And when you first arrived here, what surprised you the most? What was the most interesting and so much different from Brazil or from anywhere you had been before, apart from the weather?
Okay. When I figured out that people has they name, I got surprised. It surprised me because sometimes it's more important the birthday, and people are changing gifts because of the day name. It's really, 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 really different, and it surprised me a lot.
So name days is something. Anything else? Any other things that really you had never seen anywhere else? And you know, now we say, what is this country?
So the another thing that is I got surprised that is when people are walking on the streets and someone is behind them, they don't look around to see, to check, to give a double check who is coming. So what's coming next to you. So in Brazil, you are all the time looking behind if someone is stepping behind you. So just to check if you are safe, everything is okay. Surprised me that people are not to take a look sometimes to see, oh, what's going on, who is this person, how it looks like. It surprised me a little bit. It's not too much, but it's.
You also mentioned the way we drink beer.
So I got surprised when I realized that Czech people have a warm beer and not cold or frozen. Because in Brazil, it will never happen. You are not going to have a natural or warm beer because it's not make sense. Take beer to refresh yourself. So it's about culture. I can understand, but it's weird for my culture.
Good. And what about your Czech? Do you speak any Czech, and can you actually speak to people in the street? How is that for you? Because I think you know, for us, we know that our language is not easy. So how is that for you?
So I would say that I have a basic Czech, but after living 80 years with a Czech guy, maybe I know more than I think that I know. Sometimes I can understand people on the street or family. You are sometimes chatting with each other, and you can understand each other. I don't know why, but how, but you can. So, but I noticed that when I have a dangerous situation or I need something so faster, I am speak with Czech and they can help me on the streets, on the supermarket. I learn fast the letter, the words, and I ask for them to help me, or sometimes I help people on the streets. They ask me about where they can find the autobus, where they can find some article in the supermarket, and I can help them. So, as I told before, maybe I know more than I think that I know.
That's amazing. And I'm sure that if you live here longer, it will just keep getting better. And what about your son? Is he bilingual, or, what language do you speak to him? Does he go to a Czech school? Does he go to any, Portuguese school, English school? What is your approach to his language knowledge?
So from now, he is bilingual. He speaks Czech and Portuguese. At home, he used to speak Portuguese because my husband, even he is Czech, but he have learned Portuguese. And at home, he used to speak Portuguese. But now you speak like that. With me, my son speaks Portuguese, and with my husband, he speaks Czech. When you are all together, our own language is Portuguese. Now he's attended the Czech school, and he's getting better every day, more and more. And you are trying to introduce the English at home. You see how it's working in the future.
So he's really a bilingual child, and you speak Portuguese to your husband, so this way he can keep up Portuguese. And I actually didn't ask you this before, but how many Brazilians are there in the Czech Republic? Do you have any community here, or is it quite rare to have Brazilian people?
You have a huge community. So the last time that I have seen the numbers, it's about 2,000 people. But it maybe there are more because not everyone joined the groups. Okay, so I think there are more than it because not everyone joined the groups in the Facebook or WhatsApp. But it's around 2,000.
Is there any school for the children, or any meeting for the children to keep up their Portuguese, like a song club or something like that?
Yeah, we have a club.
Yeah.
You have a club, you meet each other on the Stomofka Park, and there are some teachers, they are reading books for Brazilian books for children. Also, you have a school, but it's not from Brazilian. The school are from Portugal because it is the same language, and they are teaching. If you want to put your child there, you can go during the Saturdays, and they are going to teach. They are going to follow up.
But you want your child to go to a Czech school?
Yeah.
For now, at least.
Yeah. It's better for the family for the moment because he is going to live here for a long time, and he must learn about the culture, must learn about the tradition. And as I told you, we have a lot of tradition. Her father is from Czech, and he have learned a lot in Brazil because he was living there for 4 years, and now it's time to learn another culture.
That's just amazing. What a gift for the children to have, two cultures, and I think it's really amazing. Good. So, and Alice Angela, what is it that you like the most about the Czech Republic? What is the number one thing for you?
So the number one here is about the easy way you can traveling across the country. The country is not so huge, so you can stay in many places during one day sometimes, or during 1 week you can visit many places here. But my favorite things here is the castle. You have a rich story about the castle. I am always watching movies from Czech Republic about the castles, and I love the movies as well. At the point, I love the movies from Czech Republic. It's amazing.
Uh-huh.
So the last one that I have seen is Gigiska.
Zizka?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Gigiska.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And it's about the castles, how some society was grew up, how
Uh-huh.
they enjoy everything. It's amazing.
Uh-huh.
It's
So
amazing.
you will probably know then the Czech people about it. So the castles and this whole culture thing and the fact the outdoors that we can travel, that's what you like here the most.
How you can move, how you can camp here so easy because you are prepared for that, for the campus. The campus has a lot of structure to receive people. It's amazing. Sometimes you have the good bathrooms, you have good camps, you have a river. Our barbecue is not like Brazilian barbecue. Just some sausages, but it's great. It's great for a while.
It's
Sometimes bees.
I think that the food in Brazil is more rich, isn't it? You make a lot of big baskets of food and
Yeah, because everything grow in Brazil. If you put some seeds there, it's grow. So you have a lot of fruits, a lot of everything. So sometimes I try to bring something from Brazil to try to plant here, but not working. But in Brazil, everything is grown there, especially fruits. You have a lot of there.
So what plant, when you say you bring over something and you try to plant it here, is there any, like typical Brazilian plant that you would talk about?
The name is mandioquinha, but it's like a potato, but sweet. But it's not a sweet potato. It's more soft, and you can dish as many plates with this, and it's amazing. But it's not working here. I don't know, maybe because the weather, you have it's tropical there, and maybe it needs more sun.
And how about the Czech weather? How is that different from Brazilian weather?
Everything. Everything. Here, in the beginning, when I just arrived here, it was hard to stay during the winter. Okay, especially when you have snowing and you have under 0 degrees. In Brazil, you don't have it. Okay, you have in the south, maybe you have some snowing, but it's not so strong like here. And I was striving about the weather in the beginning, but one point is because I think it's so extremely. Sometimes it's so hot. During the summer, it's so hot. You don't have a sea for people go there to have some refresh. And sometimes it's so cold. You don't have the middle. Okay, you don't have the middle. Sometimes now it seems that it's middle, but during when the night is coming, it starts to be so cold. And in Brazil, you have cold weather, but
what is cold
it's about
for you?
5 degrees. For us, 10 degrees is so cold.
So
it's cold
you're
for
speaking
us.
about plus 10. So that's
Plus 10 is cold.
So it's very, very different. I think that I personally would probably miss the climate the most. If I were to move from Brazil to here, I would probably miss the climate. I think that would be the biggest thing about it that I wouldn't want to.
You must choose to again about that. All the time when you change the country, you must choose everything, start everything again. Your body must to adapt it about it. But after 2 years, I think I get it. Not completely, but I get it.
And have you tried skiing?
I have tried one time. It was a disaster. I don't want to mention about that. I was screaming there. I was fell down all the time. My husband was trying to help me, but I couldn't. But next time I will try again. but I don't know if it's possible. It's one thing that I like in Czech people, because they do a lot of sports here. They know how to swim, they know how to ski, they know everything that you could imagine. It's amazing here. In Brazil, you don't have this kind of, for example, my husband told me that when you are at school, they start to motivate you to start the sports, né? But in Brazil, you don't have this kind of motivation for people, and they don't have space.
So where do all the top football players come from?
Okay. The football players, they have space for that.
Yeah.
But when you are talking about ski, for example, you don't have snow. How are you going to ski? When you are talking about swimming, okay, many people can swim, but when you come from rich cities like me, you must go just to a club to start swimming, but sometimes you don't have time for that. Because I don't know, you have a quite different living there. For example, here I noticed that people just start to work, not everyone, I mean, but you start to work just after you finish the school, the college.
Yeah.
Brazil, no. You are doing both together.
But I think
no way that
also
someone stay at home. No way that someone stay at home just study until finish the college. They are going to work during the day and study during the night.
I think it depends.
Most of people do it.
There are some people who do both. It really depends, especially some fields, but I don't really know how it is today. I studied many years ago, but when I was studying, everybody was working, but it's true that those were just some fields like that, you had to work. Otherwise you wouldn't get a job later on because it was just so competitive. But so that's very interesting. Maybe that would be another topic to talk about the differences in education. There's a lot we can chat about in the future. And maybe we can talk a little bit about Brazil. What do you miss the most about Brazil?
I miss family, friends, and especially food. Especially food, some kind of food. And you have an open fair in Brazil. And during the Friday or Saturday, you go there and you can take some pastel. Pastel is a kind of snack that they put inside meat, vegetables, everything what you want. So, and they have a special special fruits in this fair, and you can taste what you want.
It's a wide choice.
Yeah, it's an open fair. It's great. Okay, my Czech husband loved it. He all the time, I'm going to the fair. I'm going to the fair. Okay, let's go there.
I can imagine. So, and if I were to travel to Brazil, what would be your secret tip? What would be the place for you as a Brazilian to visit, to recommend to visit?
Good question, finally. I would recommend you to go to Rio de Janeiro if you don't know it. But Brazil is not just about Rio de Janeiro. I highly recommend you to go to Northeast because you can find good accent in Portuguese, nice people. You can find nice people everywhere, but there they are more nice Brazilian people. So, I mean, the state Bahia, Rio Grande do Norte, Recife, Fortaleza. Fortaleza is more common, maybe people know it. But from there, you are going to really know how the food in Brazil is, how the fresh fruit is, and they have a good sea. They have a lot of you say in Brazil, the nice things in Brazil are in the Northeast.
So that's your secret tip as a Brazilian, to go to the area. Like, I think Fortaleza is the largest city there. So this whole area. And there's definitely beaches, aren't there? There's beaches
Instead you
everywhere.
go to Maldives and Cancun, you can have they both together in the northeast in Brazil.
Great. And your mother tongue is Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese. Do you have like maybe a short tongue twister for us? You know, so that we can hear the sound of the language?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah. Okay.
O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma.
O rato.
O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. The hat gnawed clothes of King of Rome. Something like that in English. O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma.
O ato, hoepa, oetu, hoehe Roma. It's too long.
Slowly. O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma.
So it's Roma,
Roma.
but Roma. De Roma.
Roma. It is nice.
Oh. It
Now
sounds
fast.
easy when you say it, but it's not easy at all. Great. So thank you very much for chatting to me. I hope the viewers will enjoy this as well. I hope you have a great time. I hope you have you and your son and your husband do well. And if you ever want to come and chat to us again, we'll be happy to learn some more about your experience from the Czech Republic or learn some more about Brazil.
Okay, thank you for having me. Thank you all to watch it.
Thank you.